Today, we're talking about one of the most intense drone attacks of the entire Russian-Ukraine war, the moment 93 Ukrainian drones reportedly launched a coordinated ambush on Moscow, causing widespread panic, airspace lockdowns, and a complete shift in the perception of how far this war has reached. This event didn't just cause physical damage, it shook the idea that Russia's capital is untouchable. Reports from both Ukrainian and Russian sources confirmed that at least 90 drones, possibly more, were launched toward Moscow in a single night. These weren't just surveillance drones, many were explosive, kamikaze-style UAV designed to strike infrastructure, military sites, or simply cause chaos. Some were intercepted over the wider Moscow region, others penetrated deeper, setting off air defense systems and triggering emergency response protocols across the city. Immediately, Moscow's airspace was closed. Airports including Sheremetyevo, Vnukovo, Domodedovo, and Zhukovsky either delayed or completely suspended operations. Flights were canceled, rerouted, or left waiting on the ground. This wasn't just a military operation, it was an economic and psychological one. Thousands of people were impacted, from travelers stuck at airports to residents awakened by air raid sirens and explosions in the sky. Russian authorities confirmed several drones were destroyed in the air, while some managed to reach their targets or crash into buildings. Debris from intercepted drones fell on residential and commercial areas, breaking windows, damaging rooftops, and even starting small fires. At least one fatality was reported, along with several injuries. The full extent of the damage may never be fully disclosed by Russian officials, but video footage and eyewitness reports from civilians painted a chaotic picture. Why is this significant? First, it shows that Ukraine is capable of striking deep into Russian territory, far from the front lines. This wasn't the first drone attack on Moscow, but it was by far the largest coordinated strike. It's a major statement that Ukraine can project power not just at the border, but at the heart of Russian governance and infrastructure. The psychological impact is enormous. No Russian city, not even the capital, is completely safe from the war anymore. Second, this attack highlights the evolution of modern warfare. Drones are no longer supplemental tools, they are central to offensive operations. With dozens of drones launched simultaneously, it becomes nearly impossible for any air defense system to intercept all of them. The cost of launching these drones is relatively low compared to the resources needed to defend against them. Ukraine is using asymmetric warfare to maximum effect, creating large-scale disruption without risking troops or high-cost equipment. Third, it shows the vulnerabilities in Russian air defense systems. Despite being heavily defended, Moscow wasn't fully protected. Yes, many drones were shot down, but the fact that some still got through and the damage they caused is a concern for Russian military planners. Intercepting drones is difficult, especially when they fly low, change directions, and come in swarms. The Russian military will likely now be forced to invest even more in electronic warfare, radar coverage, and point defense systems, pulling resources away from the front. There's also the political impact. Attacks like this undermine confidence in leadership. If people in Moscow, the political, cultural, and economic center of the country, feel unsafe, it creates pressure on the government to respond. Whether through escalation, retaliation, or internal crackdowns, these attacks influence the strategic narrative. Ukrainian officials haven't officially confirmed responsibility, as is typical, but the message is clear. We can reach you, and we will continue if the war continues. From Ukraine's side, this is a morale-boosting operation. It shows their capability, technical innovation, and determination. For Ukrainians under constant missile and drone attacks themselves, seeing the war reach back into Russia is symbolic. It also puts Russia on notice that escalation on their part can be met with counter-escalation. It's a form of strategic balance using drones not just to destroy targets, but to shift psychological pressure. What about the future? These types of attacks are likely to increase. Drones will become smaller, faster, more autonomous, and harder to detect. Cities like Moscow, Kiev, and others will need to adopt new forms of defense: drone shields, laser systems, better radar, and even counter-drone drones. Urban planning may eventually involve defense considerations: hardened windows, drone-resistant infrastructure, and better emergency response systems. One overlooked impact is economic. Every airport shutdown affects the economy. Cargo is delayed, flights missed, tourism suffers. Multiply that over time and it adds up. It's a way of hurting the enemy without hitting the front lines. Disrupting daily life is a form of soft power in modern war, and drones are the perfect tools for that mission. In summary, the attack involving 93 Ukrainian drones is a turning point. It's not just a headline, it's a demonstration of how the battlefield has expanded and how vulnerable modern cities are. Moscow, a city of over 12 million people, is now within reach of modern drone warfare. This was a powerful reminder that even the largest, most defended capitals are not immune to new forms of conflict. It raises serious questions about how war is evolving and whether the systems in place are ready for it. Let us know what you think. Is this the future of warfare? Can cities ever be truly protected against coordinated drone swarms? And what should the international community do as this kind of warfare becomes more common? Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.